28, name's Tyler, did a contract enlistment, got out clean, glowing evals on paper. It reads solid, almost proud of you, son. Inside it feels like someone quietly took me off the map, like you were on a route, then set down on the shoulder, greater than come back to my hometown in Toledo, Ohio. Greater than same busted sidewalks that chew up your shoes. Greater than same bus that shows up on schedule, like time. Froze greater than same corner store, with the same smug cat in the window. Greater than cat, stares at people like it, pays rent and we don't. Greater than key fits the apartment door. Like it never forgot me. Lock turns easy, like it's happy to see me. Door swings open like the place remembers my weight, and the inside hits me with the opposite. Empty, no couch, no mugs with her dumb little tea stains, no blanket draped over the chair, just a single note on the kitchen counter, greater than neat handwriting. Careful like she practiced it, greater than I waited, but things change. I hope you understand. Yeah, I understand. Air smells like old dust and silence. The kind of silence that has texture. Open the fridge out of reflex. 3 condiments and a lemon that died months ago. Cabinets echo when I close them, like nobody's lived here in a long time. Unpack the 1 gym bag I came back with 2 teas. 1 pair of jeans that still smells like storage. A couple books I never opened overseas. A ceramic eagle they gave me when I signed. Eagle's still intact, not even chipped. For some reason that pisses me off, like everything else fell apart except the souvenir. Night comes, try to sleep, can't too. Quiet, the kind of quiet where you hear your own breathing and it feels like the walls are counting it. 2 days go by, no calls, no texts, no welcome home from anybody. Sit on the edge of the bed, scrolling entry-level jobs, thumb hovering, closing tabs. The second they look depressing, greater than click the first listing that doesn't make me want to puke. Greater than warehouse, greater than receiving and shipping, greater than full-time, early shifts, fast-paced environment, greater than interview lasts 6 minutes, maybe less. Greater than manager's name is Rick. Greater than barely looks at my face. Just the form, greater than you show up on time. Greater than, yeah, greater than you lift heavy stuff. Greater than, yeah, greater than he does that half shrug people do when they don't care. Greater than you start Monday. Greater than sure, greater than Monday, 6:15 a.m. Eat cold cereal standing over the sink. Take a cold shower because hot water feels like a luxury. Outside is cold too, wind cutting through my jacket. Walk to the warehouse because I need the movement buildings bigger than I expected. Squats like a giant box. Trucks out front hissing and growling like animals. Inside is metal shelves forever, like a maze made of steel. They hand me a neon vest and a beat-up scanner. Some guy named Corey does the training, talks fast like he's late to his own life. Don't trust the vending machine. Watch your fingers near the dock plate. And don't argue with Mark about forklifts. You'll lose and he'll tell everyone. Air smells like rubber, oil, and burnt coffee. People nod at me without really seeing me. Nobody catches my name the first time. One dude reeks like diesel and bad choices. Greater than then she walks in, greater than dark hair, pulled back tight, greater than charcoal, hoodie, work gloves already on, greater than moves, calm and sure, no extra motion, greater than not trying to look tough, greater than just, is greater than her eyes sweep the floor once. Automatic assessment, greater than like she's checking exits without thinking, greater than Corey calls out, "Hey Jess, new guy, show him north aisle." Greater than she looks at me, greater than no smile, no frown, greater than just measuring, greater than we start walking between rows of boxes and pallets, greater than she asks it, like it's normal, conversation, greater than, "You serve?" Greater than, "Yeah, just got back." She nods once, same, 2 months out. Silence between us isn't awkward, it's just a gap. She fills it again. Infantry? Nah, supply. Logistics. Corner of her mouth twitches. Makes sense. You've got that vibe. Like you organize your socks by threat level. First time I actually laugh in days. It surprises me how real it sounds. What about you? Signal. She taps the side of her head. Now I move boxes and pretend it's the same. She shows me the labeling system, quick, clean explanations. No wasted words you can tell. She knows the job cold and isn't performing it for attention. We don't really chat while we work, and I weirdly like that. less pretending break time. She stands by a steel beam near the bay door, greater than sipping from a scratched-up thermos. Like it's a ritual, greater than I sit nearby because the cold air feels honest, greater than I ask, "You miss it?" Greater than she stares straight ahead, at nothing in particular, greater than not the work. Greater than pause, greater than the clarity. Greater than I nod, because, yeah, greater than that's the word. Greater than before we go back, she says, "I'm Jess." "Tyler." She just nods like that's enough. And for the first time since coming home, I get this small, stupid feeling, like maybe I'm not completely done for. Third day. Boxes feel lighter, not because they are, because I stop arguing with the weight. Body remembers rhythm. Brain finally stops trying to negotiate reality. Jess moves fast and precise. No rushing, just efficiency. I start matching her pace without thinking. We start syncing up, hand off, scan, stack, turn, greater than no. Explaining, greater than no eye contact needed. Greater than like we've worked the same shift for months. Greater than even though it's been like 3 days. Greater than another break by the loading doors. Greater than cold air leaks in whenever a truck backs up. Greater than warehouse feels like it's exhaling exhaustion. Greater than we stand there, quiet. Greater than there's 2 kinds of silence. Greater than one that crushes you until you feel it greater than. And one that's calm, because nothing needs saying. Greater than with her, it's the second kind. Greater than she breaks it first. Voice flat but not cold. Greater than, "You said someone was waiting for you." Greater than I nod. Throat tight for no reason. Greater than, "She left a couple weeks before I got back." Greater than Jess doesn't gasp. Greater than doesn't do. The pity face, greater than just a small nod, like she's filing it away. Greater than, "Yeah, mine was similar." She stares at the parking lot like it owes her money. Came home. House was stripped. His stuff gone. Plant's dead. Dog looked at me like it was trying to figure out the math. I blink. "You have a dog?" Technically it was his. She says it like, technically is a joke. But I kept him. Small pause. Someone in that story had to understand loyalty. I can't help it. I smile greater than she notices and looks away like she hates being seen. Greater than then adds, almost annoyed at herself, greater than Bruno. Greater than, that's the dog. Greater than, not him. Greater than no anger in her voice. Greater than just acceptance. Greater than, like she already spent the rage and got nothing back. Greater than, and that's when it hits me. Greater than I'm not the only one who came back to an empty place. Greater than second week rolls. And greater than she actually uses my name now. Greater than sometimes even drops a dry morning when we clock in greater than, and it lands warmer than anyone else's. Forced friendliness, greater than Wednesday. We're outside with crappy coffee, steam rising into the winter air. She says, "You notice time moves different now." I glance over. She's watching her breath like it's a signal. Day ends, and I'm not even sure I did anything real. I don't have a good answer, just nod. Because I've been feeling the same thing greater than like I'm stacking boxes to fill hours greater than, and hoping the hours eventually turn back into a life greater than tell her. I had this dream last night, greater than back in uniform, again greater than standing in formation, greater than sharp commands, everyone moving like one machine, greater than everything makes sense because it has to, greater than wake up and I'm just scanning pallets, greater than she actually laughs. Greater than like real laughter, louder than anything I've heard out of her. Yet greater than, then she looks at me from the side like she's deciding how honest to be greater than. "By the way, you're not awful to work with." She holds up a finger like it's a legal disclaimer. "That's a compliment, from me." Wow. I'll frame it. She rolls her eyes, but the corner of her mouth lifts. "You're annoyingly good at taking sarcasm. You're annoyingly good at delivering it." She snorts. "Tomorrow coffee's on me." Friday hits like it teleported. I realize I've got nothing lined up. No plans, no one expecting me, anywhere greater than just a long, empty evening. And the same apartment. Silence waiting, greater than clock out. Grab my jacket. Ready to ghost out of there. Greater than see Jess at her locker. Closing it slow, greater than keys are looped on a shoelace tied to her boot. Like she doesn't trust pockets. Greater than I stop, without thinking greater than, "You like pizza?" She narrows her eyes at me. "Is this a trick question?" "No, just pizza." "Yeah." I like pizza. Come with me then? Something cheap, greasy, with bad music playing in the background. She pauses like she's scanning for an ambush, then nods. Once. Fine. We walk to this old pizza place by the bus depot. The neon sign flickers like it's trying to decide if it wants to exist. Greater than booths are cracked and patched with duct tape. Greater than air smells like garlic and melted cheese soaked into the walls for decades. Greater than Jess orders pepperoni, like it's the only adult choice, greater than I. Order mushrooms, greater than she looks at me, like I kicked a puppy, greater than what is wrong with you, greater than balance, greater than that's not balance. That's a mistake. We talk about random stuff that doesn't matter, but somehow does her sister out in Phoenix sending texts like she lives in a different universe. My grandma who used to run a tiny bakery and treated flour like religion. How fast food fries taste best when you're miserable for no reason, greater than. And how pineapple on pizza isn't a felony, no matter what the internet says, greater than she argues like a prosecutor, greater than I defend it, like my life depends on it, greater than when the check comes, she reaches for her wallet immediately, greater than I shake my head, greater than I asked you, greater than she sighs like I'm making her do paperwork, greater than chivalry's dead, greater than good. Greater than she points at the receipt like it personally offended her. Greater than I hate splitting checks. Greater than perfect. Then we agree. We step outside and the cold hits clean streets quiet, the city doing the late night hum thing. We walk slow back toward her place a couple times. Our hands brush by, accident not dramatic, just enough to notice greater than at her door. She stops and looks at me, greater than, that was nice. Greater than I nod because I don't trust myself to overtalk it, greater than, yeah. Greater than, no ghost tonight. Greater than, just pizza. Greater than, she gives this small little nod, greater than, and her eyes go softer for half a second, greater than not. A promise greater than just, a possibility greater than, and honestly greater than. That's plenty for me right now.